Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you're not, thank you for coming back. My name is Joviana De Jesus, and today on my channel we are doing all things glowy, radiant, springtime, J-Lo inspired look. Don't know what I'm going to call the video yet, but just know that I got off of watching, I just got done watching a YouTube video where J-Lo's artist goes in and kind of shows his techniques to making her skin radiant and glowy. I took some of that, I combined it with my best practices for my combination skin, threw it, mixed it up all together, and came up with this look right here. I am completely in love. I am in shock with how simple the eye look, yet how glam it came out. I hope that you guys really like it. I did make a promise to myself to kind of slow down and explain things a little clearer to you guys, just because I can do my makeup bomb and it can look amazing, but if it doesn't help you guys, if I don't go in and explain the why behind the what, it doesn't matter. So I hope that you guys really do like this video. If you would like to get this look and find out how I did it, just keep on watching. Okay, so for this look today, we're going to start with skin first. With springtime and J-Lo inspiration, skin is key, so having dewy, glowy skin is very important. I'm going to take a combination of two products. I'm going to use a L'Oreal New Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer and my Drunk Elephant Deep Bronzi Sunshine Serum. We're going to mix these two together. What this is going to do is going to help my skin look nice and bronzy, but the priming part of it is also going to help the makeup application stick and last longer. A lot of the times clients ask, do I really need primer? And based off of your skin type or what skincare needs you want to address, the answer is yes. I know that I like glowy, dewy skin, and because I'm combination skin, I don't have the pleasure of developing the oils like someone would if they were oily, so I do like to prep my skin with that, as well as my pores. I need something that's going to help to even out the texture and help to fill in the pores so that when I do apply my makeup throughout the day, the foundation doesn't sink into the pores and make them look even worse. So that's really important, and that's key. So the next thing I'm going to do is use another primer. Again, with combination skin, it's better if you do a combination of primers. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock, and this guy's going to go on my T-zone. It's going to be very important to help absorb the oils that come from there and mattify throughout the day. I make sure that I put a nice amount around my nose area, my chin and my smile lines, because if I don't, I do notice the buildup throughout the day. So great. So once we are prepped and ready to go, we're actually going to do the concealer and the foundation in a different order. I did watch this video recently where J-Lo's makeup artist was showing his tips and his techniques as to what he does when he does her makeup, and one of the things he recommended was doing the concealer underneath the foundation. That way when you blend the foundation over it, it looks a little more natural and it does its job of concealing without having the harsh lines. So we're going to give it a try. I remember when I first started doing my makeup, I would do my makeup like that. Now that I think about it, I would do the concealer, the contour, and then blend everything together. I don't know if you guys remember when that was like a big deal, but that's how I would do it. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to take my concealer and I'm going to do almost like a reverse contour where I'm going to bring it all the way up to the bridge of the nose and then down. And I know that this is a lot of product, and I know that I've always taught you guys to use as little as possible, but with this method, what you are doing is you are only using the products in the areas that you need it. So I'm not going to apply foundation over those areas, it's just going to be the concealer, versus the reverse would have been apply foundation everywhere and then add another layer on top. And that's why I teach you guys to always use as little as possible. But with this method, it's okay to use a little more. So weird at first. I always like to blend the outer part of my under eye concealer just because I like to leave this area for last since I can go in and set it. Alright, so once we put the concealer on, we can move on to bronzing. And for bronzing today, I'm going to use my Nars Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Polynesia. I know that I've always told you guys you can always use different products regardless of what the label says. Like this is a tinted moisturizer and technically it's not a bronzer or a contouring shade. You can use it to whatever suits you based off of your skin type, your budget. So I am just gonna do all of our typical areas. Forehead, cheekbone. Once we have that blended in, we can just go ahead and use our sponge and just push that into the skin some more. Okay, so our contour is on. The next thing I'm gonna do is put my foundation on, and we're gonna blend this in, just kind of buffing it into the areas where we have no product, tying everything in together. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to take on the back of my hand two pumps of the Colourpop No Filter Foundation, and then I'm also gonna infuse some of these Sephora Radiant Luminizing drops into the foundation. So it's gonna help just continue to add radiance and glow to the skin. I'm gonna blend that in the back of my hand, and then we can start to dot it on. Great, so I am going to take a buffing brush, but I want one that has the bristles that are loose. I'm trying to figure out which one. This one. So we are going to use the Luxie 514 brush for that, just because I don't want to undo what I've done, but I do want the product to get moved around. This brush almost gives you like an airbrush feel. It's nice. Okay, so once we've got our foundation on, we can go ahead and start setting all of the work that we've just done. I'm just gonna go back in and redo my under eye area before we set. And to set the under eye area today, I'm going to use powder. I'm gonna go back to my MAC Mineralized Finish loose powder, and I'm actually going to use a brush to apply that on. It's still gonna be a nice layer to make sure that we're baking a little bit, but it's gonna be with the brush. The reason why I'm using a brush versus a sponge is sometimes a sponge covers up a lot of the areas, and I don't really want to undo some of my glow today. So this helps me cover certain areas instead of just all over my face, because that's a pretty big sponge. I like to make sure that I pat and I look up as I'm doing it so that I can get into all the creases that can form under there and set everything. Another little thing is this has a little bit of a pigment. It's like in the lightest, I think it's extra light, which also helps to bring forward the highlight. So I'm gonna let that set there for a minute, and I'm gonna set the rest of my face. I'm gonna use the NYX No Filter finishing powder, and it's like a baked powder, which I love for an all-over glow. I don't want to undo any of the dewiness with the primers and then also the illuminating drops. So what I'm going to do is just take some of this guy and set my foundation. Then take it on a nice fluffy brush, and we are going to swipe up and back. So for bronzing and contouring, I am going to use the NYX Professional Pro Contouring Palette to contour. And I'm gonna go in a little bit on my contour more than I normally would. I don't say go in a little, I'm gonna blend a little less. I think that's the most strategic thing that JLo's makeup artist does, is he doesn't really blend out the contour the whole way. And I noticed that I overdo it. So we're gonna take my JH05 and go into these two contouring shades right here. I'm gonna lay that down. So once we've laid down our contour, which is a little deeper than what I would normally use to bronze, I am going to bronze. So for the bronzing, I have been loving this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It is just a perfect shade to build up and to work on as you are trying to add your bronzer. So I'm gonna use a nice fluffy brush. My fave lately is this JH02 by Morphe. It's nice and fluffy and big. And so I'm gonna take just a nice amount on this brush and we are going to just work it into the skin. We're not buffing it into there and just kind of chiseling it out. No, it's just kind of like rolling it over the skin, adding some bronze, working that contour in, giving you that natural glow. Sometimes we forget to blend where the concealer, the contour, the bronzer all meet and we have just these separated sections because we think that's what contouring is. But we forget that you are meant to look just like you, natural, pretty, but a little better, more enhanced, right? So I'm just gonna take my bronzer in all the usual areas and blend everything together, still keeping my radiance, still keeping my glow. For blush, I've been loving this Professional Blush palette by BH Cosmetics. And I've been feeling the like blush, not blush type of looks, which is this guy right here. And I mix in a little bit of the peach. So it's not an overwhelming blush. It's just more of like a, does she really have blush on? You know, that type of look. So I'm gonna dust off any excess. And what we're gonna do is just kind of flick it towards the back, tying everything together. And I like to use this like dual-ended stippling brushes just because it helps to distribute the product so it's not like a boom in your face type of finish. So I do recommend that if you're always like, okay, I always go overboard on the blush. Good way to control yourself. So you see how that just gives like a flushed pinch in the cheeks type of finish versus a super heavy cheek. I just feel like this is more on the spring end, more glowy, dewy, radiant, natural, glowing from within type. So we're gonna keep it like that. And then next we're gonna go into brows, and I'm actually gonna show you a quick brow routine just because I don't think this look requires anything overwhelming. And for brows, I'm gonna show you how to use a Maybelline Browdrama Sculpting Brow Mascara with the Revlon Brow Pencil. So what I like to do is for a softer brow, okay? For a softer, daytime, not a full face glam type of brow. Not even that, like a lighter brow. If you're someone who just likes a lighter brow and you want something on the natural side, this is a great way to do it. So what I like to do is brush the brow gel through my hair. This is gonna go ahead and fill in areas that are sparse naturally, even help to create strands where there may not be any, while also keeping your hair in place. So it's got like a dual-sided end that has more for filling in and more for volume. I just like to use both, not in any specific order. And with the pencil, I'm gonna go in a minute and fill in the areas where I see I could still use a little bit of help, but I'm gonna let this set for just a few minutes. We're gonna move on to our eyes. We're going to let that set in place for a second, okay? So let's move on to the eyes. Today for the eye look, it is gonna be a quick and easy glam look. It's gonna be like 3 colors or less maybe, just to kind of keep things simple for the look today. And what I would like to do is go into this Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I love this eyeshadow palette. If you've been interested in the Anastasia line and you want to invest in a palette, this is probably the one to do it. It's gorgeous. I've already prepped with the concealer and the powder, so we're not going to do that. But what I am going to do is go into the crease shade. We're actually going to use a pretty dark crease shade, and I don't usually do this, but I saw it being done and I loved it. So what I'm going to do is take a tapered blending brush, a nice buff one like this guy. This is my Luxie 231 favorite to do that with. And I'm actually going to go into Cypress Umber, which is right here. It's like a nice chocolate brown. We're going to take that and we're going to outline our crease. So I'm just stamping it here. And I know it looks overwhelming right now. That's because it is, Don't worry, we're gonna take a nice clean blending brush. This is my JH33. It's similar to this one, it's just not as tapered, a little more fluffy. And what I like to do with this, and the reason we're changing, is because this is gonna help us blend it out versus applying more product. If you were just to go back in with this guy and continue blending, you're gonna make a mess of it. So use a clean brush and we are going to start blending in small circular motions. You're gonna blend out a decent amount, don't take it up too high, but also keep the integrity of the line just a little softer because we are gonna go in with the lid shade and we're gonna need that. So blend it to just about there and then we can go ahead and do the other eye. So having blended both sides out, what I'm gonna do is actually take the brush that comes with the eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. It's a dual-sided one. We're gonna use this end with that same color, the Cypress Umber, and just tapping very lightly on this flat end, we are going to sketch out our lower lash line. Yes, super smoky, love it. So next, we're gonna use this shade right, where is it? Here, it's called Sultry. We're gonna take that with your fingertip and we are going to apply it all over the lid. And just to lighten it up a little bit, we're gonna take the next shade to it called Rose Pink and apply that right on top just to give us a little more light. Gorgeous. So once I've got that applied to the lid, what I like to do is go back to that blending brush. No additional product, just a clean blending brush. And we are going to just blend the two colors together using whatever we had left over on that crease. It's gonna help soften this up nicely. Okay, great. So now that we've done that and we can go back to our brows, I'm gonna take our Revlon brush here and we are just going to fill in any sparse areas and create a nice shape for the brow, but keeping it very light-handed. Okay, so that is a soft, natural brow. What I'm gonna do next is just put on some mascara and some lashes and I'll be right back to finish our look. All right, boom, mascara, lashes on, ready, go. I love it. I love, 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 love. I think one of the biggest things that I like about this is how open the eyes look. First of all, the teddy lashes by Kiss stay perfect. Love it. And the other thing that opened up the eyes really was the liner. So you guys notice how I did a white liner or a tan liner in the inner lash line? Huge, big deal for this look. So glowy skin, radiant, how can it get better? Lips, and that's gonna be our last step before we set our makeup. So for lips today, we are going to take, I have seriously fallen in love with this LA Girl lip in Sugar and Spice. It is amazing. So we're gonna line our lips, going in heavy, especially in this outer corner and the top of the Cupid's bow area. I noticed that J.Lo's artist really focused his attention on contouring the lips in those areas just to make sure to fill in the lip line. And for lips, I'm going in with an oldie but a goodie, and sorry I started off without you guys, I just had to make sure it worked. This is the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Abu Dhabi. You're just blending that into the liner as you go. This was my jam back in the day. Oh, what happened? Anyways, we're gonna go in and finish it off with some gloss because I feel like it can't be J.Lo Glow Springtime without the gloss. And I'm actually gonna take my number 7 High Shine Lip Gloss in Sparkling Rose. Between this one and the I Love Sarai Colourpop gloss, I don't know what to do anymore. I love them both. All right, guys, this is it. This completes the look for us today. I love the way the skin came out. I love how soft yet glam everything is. And I hope that it was simple for you guys to follow along. I want to do looks like this more often just because I feel like you guys appreciate when everything is done together as a whole and kept simple. That's really what it is about. I want to show you guys how to do makeup, but it's useless to you if I'm just going on about my talents. I want you guys to understand the why behind things and how things get done so that you can do it. So I hope that you guys like this. If you did, do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. Hit that thumbs up button. That way I know that you guys like the content. Follow me on Instagram. It's Joviana De Jesus. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.